Well, I've inserted the SD card, micro SD card that came with the printer. I know that's got some G-code files on. I'm sure it does. And now it's saying, well, it says click print. We've got print. I'm going to do back first. There we are. Now we've got print on there. I'm going to do print. Now it's giving these screens, well, options here like icons to select which file I want to print. So I'm going to have a look. Well, there it's got test 1, test 2, test 3. I haven't a clue what those are. I'm going to go for test 3. Why not? Confirm print model test 3 G code. Confirm. Operation. So it's heating the nozzle, I think. Oops, sorry, I'm knocking things about here. If I don't get this camera plugged in soon, it's going to run out of battery, so that's why I'm jerking about a bit there. I'm having to plug it in. T1. This seems to be Z something. I think it's 510. Is that the temperature of the nozzle? Heat bed, yeah, 4070. There's hair on there. Yeah, that's getting warm. 42. So this is a nozzle. That's a heat bed. I don't think it's starting the nozzle yet, but it's doing the heat bed. Go up to 70 degrees. It's got a fan indication here. Hopefully you can see that. Let's turn this light out. Well, move this light. Oops. Come on, focus, focus. So fan indication, heat bed, nozzle. I don't know what these other numbers are. T1. Well, no, sorry, T. That's the time, presumably. Yeah, so it's doing the time. Z. And it's got various numbers. Then Z changing. 81. No, it's got 375.81 on Z. That's presumably the Z height. Sorry about that. Crucial time, of course, the battery dies. I've got retractions on that. I can hear the retractions. This is the very first print using the G code. Test 3. Oops, sorry. Got quite a bit of a ooze out there. I'm not sure what speed this is going at. It's got the time on the time 3 minutes. Z, yeah, the Z height on the display here. 0.4. Temperature of the heat bed 70. Temperature of the nozzle 210. So it does set the temperature to a more reasonable temperature. So this is going. Quite a nice sound of the retraction. It goes. Try and get the lighting a bit better. This is like the speed. I aren't speeding this video up or anything. This is the actual speed of it. I don't know what speed setting it's set to. Haven't a clue. I'll just print out this G code test file, see what happens. I love the sound of the retractions on this Titan extruder. I think this might be the elephant. I could have checked first. Yeah, it's going to be the elephant, I think. That's alright, I'm going to... Oh, is it like a crouched down elephant, removable parts, apparently. Oops. can get the idea of the noise level. Yes, there's an indication the fan is on there. Is that 28? It's hard for me to see. 28%, I presume that is. It's quite low, but that's all it might need. This is the G code that came on the card supply, the micro SD card supply. As I say, couldn't get the USB sort of dongle thing to work. I don't know if that's a Wi-Fi thing. I'll have to, sorry about this. I'll have to check that out. But everything seems to be going alright, so I'm not sure how long this print is supposed to go to last. Has it got anything on the display? Any indication? I don't think so. Sorry about the reflections of the light here. Looks better. So you can see the nozzle temperature, heat bed temperature, the fan. Presumably this bar goes across 0%, it's suggesting there. Operation test, operation test 3. Options, I don't know what options do, I don't intend clicking it to find out. Oops, sorry. Lighting in here is knocking it all out. I'll put this other light round so you get a bit more. So the 3 arms move pretty independently of each other to control the position of the nozzle. These are on like timing belts, these arms in this case, so they can move quite quick. I think some do use lead screws and those will move slower. I mean, a delta printer will probably have to be on drive belts, sort of timing belts. Right, I'll come back in about half an hour I think and see how this is doing, but it seems to be going alright. Not sure how well it'll stick to the bed, brand new bed. I haven't cleaned it off or anything, apart from removing the protective plastic. It's been about 41 minutes going by the display down here. Don't forget that, I think that includes the timer heating up. 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. Just have this like starting string. Yes, the bed's hot there. That's the bed on. So there's the bed temperature, there's a nozzle temperature, time and a layer height. Infill, just out the shadow of the camera, see the infill here. This is the G code that's on the micro SD card that comes supplied with the printer. As I showed you, I did a firmware update from the SD card. I think there are more newer updates online as well, which I'll have to decide whether I'm going to do them or not later on. I just wanted to get this printing to see if can we see the, we might be able to actually see the feeding mechanism, the tightening feeding mechanism. Sorry about this. Can I get that in there? Oh yeah, you can see the big wheel there, that's the gear reduction, I think. Yep. That's the retraction, it's got retractions obviously set on here. Can't see any problems. One thing I don't like is the white Bowden tube. I had clear ones on mine Now clear ones do give a bit more friction in my opinion, but at least you can see the filament in them, especially if you've got coloured filament. Obviously this is white filament that came with the printer. I don't know what colour you might get. 200 grams I think they said. That's definitely the elephant. Laid down and articulated, I believe, so you should be able to move it about. I can smell a bit of plastic, but not too bad. I'll show you the just a second, I'm getting one of my wires caught. I'll show you the, you might see the belt there. I haven't oiled this. I can get this from the side because I still haven't got the side panel on this server cabinet because of the mains wire. I'll probably wipe this in more permanently. Oh, this other cable is getting in the way. Interesting to see if it's curls, see if it comes off the bed easy when it's finished. That cable in the background is for my ring light. There, haven't wired it up yet. Did have it wired up on my old photo maker sprint printer, which it sort of would last 6 weeks and then it would cause problems. Just move this high camera there. That's one thing, is this back plate here is going to cut out the pie camera where it is there. I'll have to, if I get the pie camera going. Let me move back a bit. So you can hear the noise levels. So the bed is fixed, the bed doesn't move at all, and just having to move the hot end basically, it should be able to move faster. I don't think this is full speed, so far as I know it's not full speed. You can see the sort of bar graph gradually moving over. There's the temperatures, Fans on. Let me have a look from the side. Actually, something I haven't checked. Yep, that fan's on. That fan's on. So 2 fans. I think they've both blown down. Well, I presume they're blown across the hot end inside. Can't feel any heat up here. Just feeling top up here. Can't feel any heat, no warmth. Trying not to knock it. These rods seem okay. There seems to be some glow in there. Just noticed that. So everything seems to be working okay. I dreaded saying that on my old printer because as soon as you say it, something would go wrong. It works so long and then it starts playing up one way or another. Curling, filament jamming, or just prints not coming out right, or coming off the bed, and various things really. Right, I'm going to put this on the time lapse just now. For about half an hour at least, maybe an hour. I think this is about a 3 or 4 hour, maybe even 5 hour print. Well, 69% through, 2 hours 3 minutes, well 2 hours 4 minutes now actually. Coming along nicely. My other printer would have probably failed by now. It just wasn't worth wasted plastic, wasting time, wasting money. I mean, it was good, you know, to learn a lot. One idea of me getting a Delta printer is to be able to print it faster. I'm not sure the speed of this one. It is the G code off the micro SD card that came with the printer. You see the trunk of the elephant now. As I say, there's no oil on the smooth rods or or any parts. That might help it be a bit quieter. A little couple drops of oil. Bit, so get some better contrast on the display. Oh yeah, it does have a curve. I'll show you the instructions. I don't know exactly what it means. Is it to allow for curved prints? And you can adjust the nozzle heights and such like while it is printing. I haven't tried that, I'm just letting it go. I'll show you the instructions, what I mean by this curve thing. Does that allow for the, if it's curling? Right, let me show you what I'm talking about. Touchscreen introduction, and it's on about curvature down, curvature up. So is that to allow for if it's curling? I'm unsure. New to this printer. Instructions very good, no problems there, as you've seen. I'm going through that. And like I say, you can adjust the nozzle while it is printing. You can, that's probably what the more button is for. If you're a bit sort of thing about whether it's, I forgot to look at the first layer going down. Is that concentrating on the camera work? But saying there, PLA, ABS, okay, heated bed, yeah, nylon, PETG, PVA, TPU, wood, hips. So it's suggesting it can print all of those there, all those types of filament, probably more actually. Heating the sprinkler to 240 degrees, click fast extrusion if the nozzle is blocked. Sprinkler, presumably mean the nozzle. Yeah, nozzle sprinkles water out, a nozzle sprinkles filament out. And the troubleshooting flow chart, so very good instructions. Just odd word like there where I showed you the sprinkler was on about the nozzle heater block. The nozzle block is on about sprinkler instead of saying nozzle. Just that that's about the only sort of, if there's an error, any sort of error. Facebook. Suppose on Twitter. There's some blank pages, I think, in this manual, are there? Yeah, one blank page at the back, so you could make notes, or if you want some email addresses, Facebook group. Doesn't seem to be any problems. I'll have to see how articulated this is when it comes off the bed and how easy it is to get off the bed. The bed is heated. Quite warm for PLA. I presume the G-code has been made for PLA. So we're on 210 for the nozzle, 70 for the heat bed. And the nozzle, the fan is now on 100%. Well, so it's 255 it's actually saying for the fan speed on the thing, so it's not doing it in percentage, it's doing it in how many bits it's shotting over to it. But 255 is 100% animated display. Yep, the fan is rotating, well, on the display. I'll show you that just now. Probably see the fan turning there. I reckon there's just over another hour to go, estimating. So look at the spool, plenty of filament left on the spool still. So it's nice to get that filament so you can try it out with their filament. If it doesn't work with their filament that they supply, well, you have to assume you've got some sort of issue with it. But I've had no issues with this. I'll just reiterate to check the voltage, get the bottom panel off, check the voltage before you plug it in, because you never know what's been set to. Mine was set correctly for the UK 230. And don't forget to take the plastic sheet off here. You might think there's no plastic sheet on, it's quite thin and stuck to it quite well. Like I said, just caught my thumbnail under the edge and then I managed to peel it off. Let's get the light a bit better up there. It's like a spider with its legs. Well, it's about to finish off just now. I can tell by the sort of bar graph. It's just doing the tops of the ears. Yeah, very good. So finish ears there. The only thing is this initial string, that'll pull off. Like, I'm not going to pull it now. I'm going to let the bed cool. Ah, there we are. It's finished. So it's going up to home, the top. Bit buzzing there. Bit clicking on the switches as it goes up. I don't know if it's me or what, but the fan seems quieter, seems it. Let me take the SD card out. I don't want to leave this SD card in because this has a firmware on, and if I boot up the machine with this SD card on, it could pick up the firmware, although it's not in the right folder because this came with the printer. The only thing I couldn't get to work is the small USB thing. It's not recognised in Windows, I don't know why. I presume it's the same files. Yep. Let the bed cool down and then we'll see. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's on there pretty firm. I'm pulling reasonably there. not too hard but reasonably, and that's on there pretty firm. Looks very smooth, bit of like lines across there, like I don't know, ripples or something. Oops. Trying to give you a closer look. Oh, the camera wasn't actually on the tripod properly there. I don't know, you might just see those lines across the back there. So my grandson can have this if it articulates okay. That's one thing going to have to wait for to find out. So I have to find out what the tolerances are. Because this was G code. It wasn't STL, it was actually G code. Printed off that SD card. Let's see what the display says. Does it hold the display on? Yep, seems to. So we can see that 2 hours, is that 49 minutes? Something like that. I can't really see from here. I don't know. Thought it was longer than that. Oh, the bed is set to go to zero. Target on the right, presumably. Axle on the left. Is it cooling down, or is the nozzle cooling down? Nozzle's cooling down. You can see ticking over there. Just try and turn this light a bit more. Make notice that the nozzle does look like it's cooled down. Now the bed will take a bit longer to cool down because it has some mass in it. But that has had heat to the bed very well. Let cool down and then see how easy it is to come off, I should say. So it's suggesting that the nozzle now is at 900, is that? 981. So it's suggesting that it can print to 981 high. I think it said it was 800. Don't quote me on any of these numbers. The bed is 260 diameter. So remembering that if you're doing anything square, you're going to lose out a bit on the bed to a certain extent, because you do have the curve come like round here. Well, this is a pretty big bed. But if you have a square, you know, that's to fit within the circle, so to speak, or rectangle there, which I think a lot of prints are more rectangle. Right, so let the bed cool down and come back. Well, the bed's on 27. Let's see. Oh yes, I don't even need to use a spatula. I've just picked it off. And I can feel it moving. I can feel the head moving. And the trunk bends. Legs. Oh yes, a bit of a click there, and a bit of click there, a bit of roughness. But apart from that, and this string this should pull off. There's like the underneath that was laid on the bed. So it does have a pattern. I'll try and catch that in the light, can I? Like a texture pattern of the bed that's been laid on the bed. Hopefully you can see that. Bumpy but quite smooth. Can't feel it. So yeah, there's the elephant. And that came off the bed, as you've seen. Didn't even need the scraper. The scraper they supply you with, I wouldn't really honestly particularly recommend it as it is. I'll put the one, the other one. I would suggest that you want to curve these corners at least, because if you dig in the bed with that corner, it's probably going to damage the bed. I mean, it might work okay. Apart from that, this is what I normally use, an old wallpaper paint scraper that I filed the edge down a bit. I mean, it's not too sharp that it will cut, but certainly curve the edges round. So I haven't had to use that. And there's the initial string. So what can I say? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's see if it keeps going. So there's the display. Make out the bed, and then press the touch screen. Well, you probably made that out there. But you can make out the bed and the nozzle temperature on here as well. Set, I don't know what set does. Oh, we've got Wi-Fi, fan, continue, M off. Don't know what that is. C level, that's probably the curve I showed you in the manual. I've got print, tools, okay.